Well, there's a Phil. It's working. So for the stream, thank you for hanging out. I know there wasn't any music waiting for you at the start of it. We not necessarily technical difficulties, but just was running. Oh, there's a Phil. And I'm listening to the YouTube over here. So for the stream, thank you for hanging out. I know there wasn't any music waiting for you. Now we're getting started. Why am I getting playback? Technical difficulties. Just my phone. I thought it was the TV or the laptop. Okay. I am slightly frazzled, obviously, as a DM, and I need to look over here. So this is part of a series that we've done before. Previously, we did it kind of in the middle of a campaign, but part of my brainchild for this is to get a leg up on the players. They went through a pretty long process, and so Phil is going to be the first of our players that is going to run through this. We'll have another one here in about 15-20 minutes with Krista. Basically, we're just going to showcase a little bit what they did for a character process, what were some of the ideas behind their character, and what their place in the world is, their inspiration, what they're most excited for campaign 3, and just a little bit about their backstory, which they worked on. So Phil has a physical pamphlet, not that he needs to read that out to you, but we created this for all the players and the DM to kind of, which is me, to follow along with, just to keep track of stuff. This kind of goes over like core character ideas, their home city connections, people that would matter, if they have any debts, duties, or unfinished businesses, reputation, secrets, ties to other players and or characters. And Phil is one of our renowned note takers at the group. He's been faithfully doing notes more than a lot of the other players. So his pamphlet is fairly filled out. So Phil, if you'd like to introduce who you are, who you play, and
my name's Phil.
Woo!
Currently playing Coalie Cole Steelvein. He's a dwarf from Dwarf Mist. Plays as a cleric, Forge Domain. He just recently realized he could heal people. Not a lot, but it's nice that, you know, he can do a little bit of healing if needed. I would say background for Mr. Coalie is
yeah, what's the backstory? So I think before we get too far into the backstory, let's go over what your inspiration was coming into this. And you have a kind of a unique, in my mind, way of having gone through the inspiration process, because we talked a lot in that process. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't so much you had an idea, you had a, I don't want to be this, this, or that.
So normally, my last couple characters that I played, I realized that I don't really care too much about spellcasting or playing someone.
This is after a campaign of
all spellcasting. I mean, I don't mind it. It's great, and it's some of it can be done really well if you know how to do it, but I do not. And that's okay, because I like more physical support. I like to be able to support and help, and if that means I'm the first one to run into something, then
yeah,
that's what I'd like to do. Even if I was, even as the spellcaster and casting spells, I would still run in and still try to be
right in there.
Not for, I wouldn't say it wasn't more like owning the stage or anything, but I like battle. Yes.
You like to be involved.
Yeah,
in
like
the combat.
Like to get in there and get dirty, I guess. And so we discussed it a little bit, and this was pretty close I didn't want to be just a barbarian or a fighter or any other class. I really would like to help more. So we kind of went into the cleric side and more of a forging type artificer slash smith mechanic this time around. I think it's pretty cool.
And this is in relation to not wanting to be per se the swash. I know there was still part of you that would have liked to be a pirate once again,
Yes.
but this was in a way to do not like a pirate, not to do a blood hunter, edge lord,
kind of just, it's way different than what I've played before, other than, it's closer to the paladin that I first played way back when I started.
Yes.
And I kind of like to go back to that. I feel like even though I love the 3 characters that I played prior to this, 4, this one he's going to play more towards my personality as a person.
I think already we've gotten to see that. If you haven't had a chance to, we have a couple episodes out, including our session 0, and so this just kind of allows you to see some of the different aspects of the characters already bleeding out. We're going to try and get all these lore videos done before the end of Act 1 is done. That way we got kind of a fresh, they're not too deeply tied into some narrative that's changed or character deaths or anything like that. Knock on wood. And so that's where the inspiration came from, certainly. So Coalie, let us get into how he fits. What is Cole's backstory, and then to follow it up, how he fits kind of in Alstaria.
I'm not going to give too much away because there's still a lot that hasn't come up.
Right.
As far as his backstory, but he comes from the city of Dwarf Mist.
Yes.
I'm pretty much. I have to say that I do love dwarves. I do love the idea of dwarves. Big fan of Gimli.
Yep.
So he comes from a mountain and pretty much works under the mountain, works with steel, works with the rocks.
Yeah.
His family line, his bloodline, and everything is kind of split.
So what's unique about the dwarves for our players here? This is part of our lore series. So
what's unique about them?
They run off of, I don't know if you remember, but they run out of a caste system. I think that's what you were kind of.
Yeah. So it's not like they're forging hammers, but they're actually casting their armor or weapons or jewelry or.
No, but I mean the cost system. Like there's the religious sect, there's the armoring, there's the smithing sect. There's
you
the
want to talk
leaders.
about the houses and stuff. Like
not full,
Runekeeper.
but like that's unique to the dwarves, right?
Yeah. So I mean the mother of Coalie is runs under the a sacred order is what it's called, kind of the holy, more clerical side.
Yes.
As far as which way he went under his father, in the forge. As far as being the forgery, you have a couple of other places where it's labor and it's all branched out: military, merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the worker class, the laborers expansion. The holy, and then the forge. This is the actual, like, in my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but more of like the foundation, the what they do is the forging,
Yes,
what they're well known for.
Their craftsmanship is above all honored in that particular section, and that's the one that you've fallen under.
Right, and let's see. As far as what else would you like me to go over? Let's see.
So how are you fitting into Alstaria? Like, so what was Coalie doing before essentially session 0?
Before we came to know Coalie, as a very talkative, cookie lover. He he was, as growing up, he became a forge master. Pretty, I wouldn't say too young, but younger than most.
Yeah.
It hasn't been really talked about. He hasn't had his chance to shine for his workmanship yet. But he's one of the things that has, I would say he stands out for is the fact that he has become a forge master, and to some it doesn't sit well.
Yes.
It's kind of
the burden
you did
you're
it,
carrying.
but you didn't do it under one person's favor. One person.
You're not the favored son.
Yeah. Someone doesn't really care that I did it. He doesn't think that I should have it, or Coalie should have it.
Right.
But he has worked very hard. He does know. I believe he does know his stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to it, his gear and what he will be able to
Certainly
hopefully make.
And you've already been if you watch some of the episodes, you'll watch part of the character sheet, the character creation. You'll watch Phil and Coalie kind of make quests after I don't know if he's a lovable smith yet, but you'll see kind of this interaction.
Coley's getting into the smith area, so you can start working on some of that stuff.
Certainly.
On the back home time when we're back in camp.
Yep.
But I mean, he does have the reason why he is the way that he is not only was he the cleric side where he does get some experience from his mother's side, and then he has a smithing side from his uncle, but he also learned from the smith side from his father, but he also has an uncle that he was under for a little while, kind of just under his mentoring.
Yeah.
And he was more in the military aspect of the dwarf system.
Yep, the cost system there.
Defending and military, or defense and militaries.
Which kind of led him to have this priestly. And so so we have in this new campaign, we, instead of like guilds and stuff, we have 6 factions, 3 versus kind of 3. What faction are you part of?
Faction, I believe we're part of I want to say the merchant faction.
I think you're part of the Iron Concord.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, forgive me, I'm not 100% sure.
You're part of the Iron Concord, yeah.
Yeah, faction-wise, yeah.
So the Iron Concord, being lore while he's looking at this, Iron Concord is basically it's like knights for hire. You want somebody protected and stuff like that. It's the military group, the most militaristic portion of the group. These are most of the guards for any of the major cities go through the Iron Concord. Nobles that want to have personal guards, even some military figures end up going through the Iron Concord to get some training, especially in times of peace when there isn't a lot. This is where the martial training happens. So Coalie would be very well invested in martial training. Like a good workout with Soren and Nico wouldn't be unjustified, because you've been there, you've done it, you were part of it.
I think what we were discussing when we first came up with this was for the backstory was that he's in it for the support side.
Yes.
Knowing that he's got the 3 parts of his family that he's worked under or tried to experience, that the support side of the military from the Iron Concord was what he was after.
Yep.
So
not recognized in one spot, so here's another.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. Secret too, and it is in your notes too that you were there for support. So moving right along, what so far, I know you're the earliest adoption of this, what has excited you about campaign 3 and Coalie being in campaign 3?
Well, I've never played cleric, so this would be my part of learning a new character system.
How's that been going for you so far?
So far, it's been okay. It's not being support. I still have to learn some of these things. There's this one thing about the spellcasting was that there was a lot to read.
Yes.
As far as learning how to or what to do, what you could do, what you can't do, and then here there's still things in there that I come across. Like I said, he just recently learned he could actually heal somebody.
Yes.
So it does take a little bit of reading, and I will fault that I don't go through it and read it until I'm in battle.
Wow. I think that's most people's.
Everybody, yeah. But mostly I'd say I was excited just to see, one, the storyline and how it all comes out is always exciting to see, and see what you've got planned for us. But as far as for Coalie, I think I'm more excited to see what he can produce to help what I'll be able to roll in it to produce for him, or as an adequate / maybe legendary pieces of equipment that people might be able to use to succeed in this adventure that we're on
as you get going.
Right, because I think for me, especially for me as a person, like if I am able to help someone or give something that I have to somebody that makes something more for someone else, I think it gives me more in a person, and I think that's what I'm stemming from. Fulfilling
in
Coalie.
In the role play, fulfilling in Coalie, and and then last thing is more of a feedback for the DM. Have you been liking the cadence, at least for Act 1? I know that story is going to get deeper and dive all of that, but just getting in with a party is a party system, the base system, and the cadence of the sessions been going good for you.
Yeah, I think that to be honest, I really enjoy playing under you as a DM. Your storylines and the amount of work that you put in is great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You do a lot. Your homework is, what you put into it is really great. As far as the way everything's running, we're still learning all of the where to go, who to talk to, the mechanics of just our baseline, of just our bases is great. It's fun to know that we can have all of that in one area. Kind of reminds me of a game.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that we cut most of the travel out of it. Just kind of the walking through the forest type stuff and going in. I know there's might be some, but getting to the area and just getting part of the story, that's great.
I want people engaged in the story and feeling like they're involved with core NPCs that they can remember, for one. Assuming by the end of Act 1, and most people will remember the various NPCs that they have in the different places that they've interacted. And then the other thing that I'm working on is making sure that there's a good balance of combat versus roleplay, at least right now. There might be heavier cadence in Act 2 and 3 of now 3 sessions in a row are going to be roleplay versus now you've got a big fight. But for now, this is kind of a return to style of we get some roleplay, we get you in, and you do a dungeon dive.
Yeah.
And one fun, it says that I'm supposed to give a hint without spoilers, but something that I've noticed, and I don't know if you've picked up, but Coalie has been the only one to truly interact with both instances of the red gemstone.
Well, yes, because that part I have picked up on. I haven't asked. I'm very nosy, and if you allow me to ask questions and get answers, I will.
Yes.
So I have refrained from asking about the red gems more.
Metagame.
I know that they are something of importance by the first couple
interactions.
Yes, the interactions that I've had. What we're gonna do with them, I still don't know, and I'm like, if I'm not gonna ask and pest you about all of them because I will, because I want to know. But I have realized that since there's been 2, which I think maybe someone else has caught on, but it'll just be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
I know that I do know in my quest of knowing everything that I won't have to worry about forging them into anything right away.
Yes, right. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up so I can get another player lore in when we next do my session here in 2 weeks. We'll have another 2 before that session, and then there's going to be a big long hiatus break for streaming in general for us as people go on vacation. But thank you, Phil, for being our first, and I'm super excited to have Coalie join us in the team. He's been super fun, and I enjoyed how you brought him to life in a different way than any of your other characters. As I feel like I'm getting better as a DM as time goes on, you're getting better as a player.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.